What the fuck?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 29 of What the Fact, the Questions Podcast. This is Patricia.
Ashley.
Stephanie.
And we are so excited to be here today.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
I don't know if I've shared this. I'm currently drinking a White Claw, and this is the first White Claw I've ever had.
What?
What do you think- what do you think of it?
It's fine.
This was
tastes-
a very good story. I'm writing it down.
no,
now so
it
you
just
can
like
tell
it tastes
again.
like it tastes like juice with like a little extra sour. I'm like, raspberries don't taste like this.
It's actually
said anything coming from a can.
5%
it's
alcohol.
castoreum, not raspberry.
Yeah, you're having
Why did
beaver
people-
anal glands.
Oh,
And alcohol.
oh, not again.
You want me to squeeze them in your mouth?
I'm just more curious why this became so popular.
Well, for me, I like it because I don't like the taste of alcohol, and that reminds me more of a LaCroix than anything else.
Well,
Yeah,
why
and
not
it's only
just drink a
5% alcohol.
LaCroix?
You might as well just not drink.
Because then when I'm at parties, and you know how I can't really drink much anyway, I feel included in drinking with everybody else, and I feel like I stay more hydrated when I drink a White Claw. I know there's a lot of stigma around White Claws, though. However,
What do you mean?
people are like, "Oh, you're a college," like it's just some kind of like
Basic?
basic bitch, yeah. White Claw drinker.
She
Sorry.
swore.
Also,
Wow.
I have to apologize. I've been sick for the past few weeks, so I apologize for sounding really weird in the past few episodes.
You sound pretty normal to
Yeah, you
me.
sound-
No,
fine.
today's a lot better. Yeah, but I've been
Fair enough.
gross. This whole last week was pretty gross.
Yeah, Patricia's been sick for like weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years.
I'm not even sure if she like actually had SARS
Oh my
from
God.
years ago.
This is actually just the ghost of Patricia talking to us now from beyond.
I had that thought the other day when I was in bed. I was like, what if I am a ghost? But I'm taking care of Lucy still, so that's good. Do you ever think that?
No.
Constantly.
Yeah.
What if I'm a ghost?
Yeah, what
Would
if
you
I'm
haunt
dead?
people?
Yes.
Like, but I've always had what if people just don't know when they die and they could just continue walking and that's like the ghost, you know?
Are we
I see
all
it-
ghosts?
I see it similar, maybe. Oh,
Yeah.
that's an existential question that we cannot deal with right now. But I think of it more of like if you had the power of invisibility and what would you do? I wouldn't haunt people, but I definitely fuck with people a little bit.
Yeah,
we
we
were
talked
talking
about
about
that.
time.
Yeah.
But I
and-
think like
and
what
watch,
if
you know, not things you shouldn't be watching.
What does?
don't think
I'd
about it
follow
too much.
people into apartments and just see how it goes.
I remember you said that last time.
Yeah, that's all I want to do. I don't want to scare people. I just want to be like, oh, this is what you do.
Well, we talked about that before when we talked about what would you do if you're invisible. But I think like what if people when they die don't realize that they die, but they don't realize that like time doesn't continue for them. It's just
Well,
like they
that's what
pop
they
into existence
say.
here and there.
That's what they say about
Yeah.
like hauntings in particular places. They can't leave this place. They still think they're within
Yeah.
it. They still think that they're a part of it, and they can't move on until
They don't
something's
know.
been accomplished because they don't know. Yeah, they have no idea that they've died or
none
all
of
that
that.
fun stuff.
Speaking of scary stuff,
Demons scare me and they haunt me.
Oh,
I'm so
God.
scared of them.
Should we do an exorcism at your house?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you imagine?
no,
Yeah,
I
do
don't
it.
want to. Nope. Nope.
I'll do it.
Nope.
Have you watched that show Goop on Netflix?
No.
Is that the Gwyneth Paltrow one?
It is, and they
Where
talk
she
about
like sticks weird things up ya?
What?
Because that's the
That
whole
is
thing.
not that is
Okay.
not the show.
That's
But
Pornhub.
no, that is Pornhub. No, Gwyneth Paltrow is all about like weird, like
like diets and cleansing methods
and different like vaginal things.
Yeah, there was
She's all about it.
There was actually, I highly recommend watching it. There is an episode on like orgasms and this like lady who's a coach to help women like accept their sexualization or like sexuality and like the education of like orgasming. There's another one where they talk about I think it's Reiki or like people who are energy readers, and you're
Mm.
watching these people getting their like energy like massaged or read whatever, and it literally looks like people are getting like there's an exorcism.
Will you massage
happening.
my energy?
It's happening.
Oh, God.
Insert energy massage music.
What are you doing to me?
Please don't. Can you blink at some point?
What color is my energy to you?
Oh, that's a good question.
I can't read energy.
Fuchsia.
I don't know.
Fuchsia?
Fuchsia. Interesting.
Interesting.
I mean, my mother claims that I could do this. I can't do it.
I see more of like a peach or orange out of you.
I saw
Yes.
orange out of you, but I think it's because, we're just like peach an actual color?
What's my
I
color?
don't know. No answer. No good
There's
answer.
no
That.
good answer to this.
color, Patricia.
There's no good answer. Abort the mission.
Yours is
Except the mission.
Turquoise.
She's
Okay.
like, what's the opposite of yellow?
That's purple. I know that.
opposite. You're purple yellow.
Oh my god, I'm so afraid of answering anything right now. So
Stephanie's like, dance.
Dance, monkey dance.
So speaking of scary things, though, we did go collectively as a group to see another podcast live taping, or what we thought was a live taping, this past Saturday, and we were in the front row center, and it was from the podcast, and that's what we drink, and that's why we drink, which I highly recommend to listen to. It's very good, but it was so funny because some of the things they talked about were scary.
So scary.
And the whole
I loved
time, I loved it too. Stephanie was like all in there. She's like, "Oh, I know
was
that. I know that. I know that."
So
Yes.
into this.
Versus I was like, oh, hell no.
Ashley's like sitting there like,
Like, I've seen this movie. This is where I leave, and you bitches get murdered.
No, let's be real. The brown person always gets murdered first.
The slut goes first. That's just any horror movie protocol. Slut goes first.
Before the ethnic person?
Yes.
No.
Ethnic person goes
No, I
either
thought-
second or comes back at the end thinking that they've died. They never actually died. They come back to save.
actually, I do trust Stephanie in this because she is
Yeah.
our horror master.
Slut dies first. What's fun is I still haven't established which one of us that is.
Oh.
No comment.
Insert scary slut music?
Ooh.
What? Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that
let's-
music.
yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I just think it's funny because during the week, Ashley started texting me things like, "I'm kind of afraid of demons right now."
I would wake up in the middle of the night to have to pee, and I was like, oh no, I have to go in the hallway. Oh,
Or I'm just
no.
texting like I just made friends with several demons.
Stephanie's got a collection in her closet.
we got a tea party going if anybody wants to join.
I'm not gonna lie, I woke up my man. I was like, wake up! I'm so scared.
It is interesting, and like I know I can go forever and ever and ever on like ghosts and demons and scariness.
Uh-huh.
I get nervous from ghosts occasionally because it's it's the unknown, it's the unseen, whatever it is. But like when my roommate who has a boyfriend doesn't always spend the night at my house, when she's at her boyfriend's house, I do lock my door. And it's not
Your
ghosts.
bedroom
Ghosts-
door.
Yeah, my bedroom door. Like all the doors, I do the double check. I'm a little neurotic, so I actually have to recite what I'm wearing so that I can remember that I locked the door and then recite what I'm wearing so that I can confirm that I've locked it. But I'll do that with my actual like bedroom door. And I'm not scared of like ghosts. If it happens, like I'm fucked either way. But I
they can
am
go
oddly
through the
scared.
door.
They can go through the door. Yeah, no door's gonna
Like,
stop
fuck
them.
locks.
They're like, that's cute, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm walking through this
Exactly.
door.
It has nothing to do with them. Zero to do with any sort of supernatural. But I do get like oddly not scared of like slashers, but somebody who thinks that they can just like come into my house. I don't know what it is.
So can I tell you something quick?
Yeah.
Okay. My friend who had played soccer with me in college, one time she went to her apartment and didn't know until later till they found this out, but there's a guy hiding in her shower the whole time she was going into change into her soccer outfit.
And now my locking of the
What?
door makes sense.
It does.
What?
So ever since then, since college now, I check like in the bathtub when I get home.
Oh, yeah.
I live in a studio, but I will check every little room when I get home.
Yeah,
What?
but your closet's the size of another like bedroom.
It does. It takes 20 minutes.
She has to go into Narnia, and then she comes back out of Narnia.
Just see Mr. Tumnus, and that's it.
Oh my gosh. Wait,
Confirm
so
that he hasn't followed you out.
did she know the person, or is it a random
No,
guy?
someone had broken into her place, but apparently he broke in before she arrived. She went home to like change, got right back out and left again. But apparently he like escaped after that, so he had been hiding in her shower.
There's a really bad horror movie on Netflix about this called Open House. I don't recommend watching it because it was really bad. But that was the similar point of it. Whereas like somebody broke in while they were like doing an open house and just was like hiding out in the house and just like scaring you. And I'm like, you
No.
fucker.
You fucker.
No.
Like this is why I have a bat next to my bed.
I'm not gonna lie. When my man has been gone for work trips, whatever, we have a flail. I put it next to my bed.
You
Just
can
in
have like a
case.
slumber party in those nights.
That's
Invite us over.
true. I
Also, what's a
should.
flail?
Yeah.
Um,
It's a sex toy.
No, it's just a really large dildo bat, and I'm like vibrating against.
You're gonna rip me, bitch.
You're gonna away from me. This is the hardest shake weight you'll ever experience.
You're gonna regret this soon.
No, a flail. It's like a medieval weapon with a spiky ball at the end.
Wait, I thought that was a mace.
A mace is just the end of it, and it's like a stick with the spiky thing. The flail has the chain.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what my mother had under her bed. That
She had
son
a
of
flail.
a
So
She had a
bitch.
flail, not a mace.
God damn it,
But
Mom.
I feel like,
Where is it now? Is my main question.
You don't want to know.
but like a flail, I feel like you could definitely hurt yourself
Oh, yeah.
immediately.
And
Wait.
all the doorways and the
Why do you
hallways in
have a-
between.
But why do you have a flail of
Does
all
it-
weapons?
Doesn't everyone have one?
I do not have any weapons in here.
No, I mean my man got it for a theme.
A what?
He-
A
so
theme
there-
sex
There's
party?
nothing you can say that will make this better.
he decided to have some sort of like themed party at his work, and it was
Mhm.
medieval based. So of course, his team and himself got a bunch of medieval weapons. Well, I guess flails aren't accepted in a corporate environment. Lesson learned.
Surprising.
Shocking.
Oh.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Oh man, so that's why I have a flail.
So
I
what
mean,
else?
it's the right place to keep it.
So what else the fact has been happening to you guys all week? Sorry, I know that was really corny.
That was terrible.
I thought it was great. What the fact's been happening?
Unacceptable.
Bad answer. Bad answer.
Should answer.
Yeah,
As
it's a
they all
question.
know, I took the week off, and within the first 3 hours of my first day off, I fell down the stairs. I was not drunk or on any form of drugs, which is the worst part in my opinion. Because had I been, I may have fallen more gracefully. Honestly,
You might have been more relaxed. You may not have
Exactly.
hurt yourself.
honestly,
You just like bumble down the stairs like
Exactly. It's like, oh, we land on just like, fatty tissue and everything's fine. Instead, I landed on my ankle and my wrist.
Ugh.
My ankle got pretty gnarly and I've just been rusting it. My wrist was fine. There was a bit of a scratch and then a hive developed over it because it wanted to, because that's how my body works. And my week off that I had planned to do lots of mindful, thoughtful things ended up with me just watching a lot of TV, reading and puzzling.
What type of puzzles were you
ultimately
playing?
would have ended up happening anyways. Whatever puzzles that I had right now is this like a full astrological thing.
Oh.
And then the next one's gonna be this like really beautiful kind of elephant. It's like holographic in a weird way.
Wait. What type of puzzles are you talking about?
Actual
A
puzzles.
Like a
You put
legit
together
puzzle
puzzles.
Jigsaw
Okay.
puzzles.
And then
Okay.
an actual jigsaw puzzle. I have a whole thing, and it could be hidden away for guests, so that they don't have to see my puzzle sets.
You're good at hiding stuff from guests.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a box full of stuff for other stuff.
It's
What
in a
does that
zipper
mean?
thing. It's not a box. It's in a zipper, and it's next to the bedside.
What are you talking
It's
about?
what we've always talked about.
It's in a Ziploc bag?
It's not in a Ziploc bag. No,
it needs
it's
to breathe.
Oh my god. It is not in a Ziploc
It's
bag.
not alive.
If you put it in a Ziploc bag, it will become alive. Gross.
It is not a vacuum sealed Ziploc bag.
It is in a self-cleaning container.
Yeah.
Kind of. No, it's just in like a massive makeup case.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like a caboodle?
No.
You keep your sex toys in a caboodle?
It's not a caboodle. I wish. That would have been much smarter. But no, it's not in a caboodle.
I had 2 caboodles when I was younger, and I went home to visit my dad in like last fall, and he gave away my caboodles to his friend at that point. He's like, "You're not gonna need these anymore," and I was like, "I want those so bad because like the true vintage ones, but there's no way I could have taken them back in my suitcase, and I was so disappointed in life." And I was like, "I don't need them, but I loved them so much."
Now
Sorry
we
to
mourn.
regret.
Take a
That's like
moment
a
of
really
silence.
deep turn.
Seriously, a
I'm
moment
so
of silence
sad.
for those caboodles.
I loved them. I had like a blue one with sparkles and a pink one with sparkles.
They still sell caboodles, by
But
the
these
way.
are like the originals. The OGs.
They're not the originals, but they like look similar.
It's
I
the
know.
sentiment.
Yeah, they're the OG caboodles. Anyway, that's a good intro. Hello, everybody.
Let's get into question 1.
I would love to get into question 1.
Your question 1.
I am asking the first question.
Yes,
to
you
guys.
are.
All right. This one could be dirty, but it could just be funny. Or both. So, best of both worlds, in my opinion. All right, here's the question. What's the worst thing you could whisper in someone's ear on the first date?
Go ahead.
I have
Steph.
so many thoughts
I have
running through
so
my head
many.
right now.
You go first.
Oh my god. No, wait. No, because I have so. Okay, first thing to whisper into a guy's ear. Okay, first date, they think they're trying to impress you, maybe
Yeah.
go home with you. So I mean, there could be something this isn't innocent, but something along the lines of like, I'm not attracted to you.
What?
That's a pretty terrible
You're
thing.
not attracted to... Okay.
I'm not attracted to you. It would be pretty terrible. Or be like, something even grosser of like, you remind me of my grandfather. You can take it in all sorts of like
that kind of goes along
levels.
with what my answer would be. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think if the date was so I guess it depends on the date. I'm assuming if you're having some food or whatever on your first date and it's going well, I think I would, there was like a vibe. I'd be like, "Are you gonna finish all of that food?"
That, or it'd be like as you're eating a bunch of asparagus, you just like wink like, oh yeah,
Get all the
asparagus all day long.
food, and then you're like quinoa.
No, asparagus isn't like
Oh,
what
of
that.
course.
Yes,
I do know.
But you don't like just eat it. You shove it in your cheeks like a hamster. Never mind. I thought it was so funny.
That's not what you say. That's just an action.
Oh.
Oh, I was talking about the food. Okay.
Yeah, I would try to say something funny if it was going well.
But
if
the
it
worst
wasn't
thing,
going,
this is the worst thing you could say.
but that's not like yeah, you're right. The worst thing. I wouldn't say I think if someone were to whisper something terrible, it'd be STDs. Like, I don't have that many STDs.
I don't have that many.
That would be pretty bad to
Okay.
hear as a recipient and or to whisper to someone.
I think I have a solid one.
Okay.
Like if it's a first date, it's not gonna go anywhere, and like I am attracted to men, so I will say I think one of the worst things I could say is I'm more of a man than you will ever be.
Oh.
And then just leave. Is that not the worst thing you could say on a first date to a man?
Especially if you don't leave, you just stay there and stare at them in the
Just
face.
stare. Just
Or-
continuously eating asparagus. Just
Or you like grab your crotch and say that at the same time.
Gosh. Or you could say just
readjust.
no thank you and then walk away.
No, that's polite.
That's
That
pretty
is polite.
bad though.
That's
No,
polite.
that's
It's politely
polite.
bad though.
It's
No.
true, but
Like the walk away plus the whisper. And he's not even asking me anything if I just said that.
Well, I guess to supplement that a little bit, I guess if like it was a like first day whatever, and you see them walk in and you just get up and you're like, nope, and just leave.
true. I have
That's
two of
true.
them. The first one is along the lines of a parental figure, and it would be, I'm not wearing your mom's underwear today.
Oh, that's horrible.
I know. What
Ew, that's disgusting.
That's the question.
I feel like wearing anyone's underwear
Well, I
would be
think
terrible.
it makes it awkward for
Dating
two
Norman
reasons.
Bates? What the fuck?
One is that what is like implying that you have a relationship with that person's mother,
That's,
and the second part is that you have her underwear. Like, what? Anyway, that's my first one. It's okay. I thought of that one a long time ago, but I thought of one other one recently that's really gross too.
Mm.
It is. Does it bother you that I'm still breastfed?
oh.
I feel like that'd be a fun game though, of like, what are the things you can say and to see how long. I mean, this kind of goes back multiple episodes ago of why are we so polite in certain circumstances, certain dates. Like, how far can you take it
Like-
before the person is no longer like, I am no longer willing to be polite. It is not okay that you're still breastfed, and will actually like get up and
Like, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yes.
Remember that movie?
Mhm.
Yes, of course I remember that movie.
Of course you do. Yeah, but that's like
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
the idea with that, right?
Or what if you whispered, "Do you want me to breastfeed you?" That would be equally horrifying.
I think some guys might be okay with that.
No way.
No, for sure.
You think so?
There are
There's
some
that's some
crazy
Have you
fetishes
never
out
had a
there.
guy try to breastfeed off of you?
No.
Well,
I
they
can't
get
do
a
that.
good deal from you. Chocolate milk and what was
2%.
2%?
Your choice.
Oh gosh, how terrible.
That is terrible. That's all. That's a good question I wanted to ask you guys. But I think it leads into our second question nicely, which is not truly a question. It's a game.
Game session.
Welcome to today's game.
So the premise of this game is that, and we talked a little bit about it last episode, I am going to be mouthing certain things to y'all, and you will have to guess what I'm saying. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all
So,
ready for this?
Number one.
Phrase number one.
Okay, I have an
Okay.
idea.
All right, Stephanie.
I know this is gonna be way off, and
Mine
maybe
too.
I'm just hungry. But is it Banana Foster's a la carte?
My,
That's what I just saw. I
My
saw
thought-
banana, maybe Foster's, and then something after it that could have been a la carte.
mine was potato and feta salad goes down so easy.
It was burrata frittata tentacles.
Tentacles. You're gonna even go so crazy that we can never pair them?
Okay. I'll do a sentence for this one. I thought that was fun based upon how I'd have to move my mouth in the different consonants.
At least I got the B.
That's true. Yours is actually not too far. I like that it
Mine
both
was food
related to
related.
food.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
hungry.
Okay, ready?
Number 2.
Number 2. Phrase number 2. Again?
Mm-hmm. Is it, what, did you say lover butt?
I thought lover Mexican.
Oh, interesting. We both got lover.
Yeah.
Love your musk.
Oh,
Your
I was
musk?
close.
Not
Lover
too bad.
butt wasn't that far.
Lover butt's pretty good, but when would anyone ever say that?
Lover
Lover
butt?
butt?
I
I
guess
hope somebody knows
Tina
to call me
Belcher.
that one day.
Tina Belcher would say
Tina
that.
Belcher would say that.
Okay, I have 2 more. Actually, let's try 3 more different ones.
Oh boy.
I have a lot, but I was very excited
Keep going,
about this.
keep going.
Third phrase.
Salad YOLOs.
Oh
You
no.
wanna get-
I love Rolos.
Tiny throat hole.
Oh,
I thought it was gonna be with a T, but I was gonna say a name and that wouldn't have worked out well.
See, but salad, YOLO, tiny throat hole.
You guys are pretty good.
We're getting
I
these a
love
little bit.
Rolos.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Phrase 4.
It's son of a, like, I thought it was gonna be son of a bitch, and then I thought it was son of a biscuit, but then there's an extra syllable at the end.
I had son of a meat hole. Oh, no, I said Stephanie meat hole.
Ooh.
Son of a biscuit eater.
Oh.
I had almost all of it but eater.
That's a pirate phrase.
I had everything but eater. I had son of a biscuit.
That's
Sort of.
pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Okay.
Okay.
And this is the last one.
Oh.
This is phrase 5.
Lamb shoe.
I thought it was like I am to you. But then there's-
Lahayim to you.
I was so
You
close.
both were really close.
Oh man.
Incredible.
I'm impressed by your lip reading capabilities. I'm
Thank
terrible
you.
at that.
Yeah, but we
Thanks.
both would have not been able to take any of those lip reading anywhere.
Can I
Yeah.
say that on a first date and see how it goes?
Lahayim to you.
Lahayim
No,
to you?
our
Or son of a-
what we thought we were.
Or son of a biscuit eater.
It's like lamb eater. All the wrong answers.
That's good. Are you good at lip reading, Ashley?
I am terrible at lip reading.
Me too.
Like, try saying something to me right now. Get melon in my mouth?
Yeah, exactly. No, it was
No.
don't look under my bed.
Don't
Stephanie,
look
you're-
under my bath.
I mean, you mouth something to me. Mouth something to me.
Oh no, I have to think of something. I'm so scared.
Blue Hampshire?
Close.
What was it?
Blue lampshade, because that's what's behind you. I'm Kaiser Soseing my way through all of this.
Well, you know what I wonder? Do you think reading lips is a superpower? Like, would you want that?
Yes.
No.
Why? Tell me. Pray tell for the both of you.
I love to act oblivious when I'm never actually that oblivious, and I think that would give me an extra leg up on certain conversations that I shouldn't have been privy to but already knew about. I just happen to know exactly what they were saying.
My last company was a French company, and they didn't know I spoke French. But I could hear like about a third of the people in the company were from France, so they would speak French to each other about things, especially when they didn't want anybody around them to know what there was being said. So one time this girl's like, "Hey, come over here. I need you to listen to this phone call so I can interpret what's being said." So I interpreted for her because she knew. But same kind of idea. That was what it was like.
How
to
much
speak.
shit did they say?
It wasn't so much shit. It was more about like what they would say to different people to like move a project in a certain direction that maybe they weren't making the rest of us privy to. So I could hear that.
That is pretty good in the work environment.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to read lips though. Like because I feel like if I chose the superpower, I'd probably only get one, and that would be like on the lower end of my list.
Mm-hmm.
It'd still be good to have the ability to do, but
Sure.
I don't know. I'd
I
love to be
feel
able to make
that.
people fart on command.
People fart on command?
Like, wouldn't that be cool? Like if
It'd
you're
be
like,
We talked about that one. It was like the awooga making people fart at the same time.
but it wasn't so much that, but I'd love to be able to make just by looking at somebody and commanding them to fart in my mind. Wouldn't that be great? Like if you're in a
Only
meeting,
if they
because
were
we
like
all suffer.
loud and hysterical.
well, you could be, yeah, but like if you think if you're like in a presentation, someone's presenting on stage, and all of a sudden you're just like, I'm gonna make them fart, and they can't stop it, they just go, and you're like, bah, you farted.
That's terrible.
I think it'd be funny.
On command diarrhea would be really bad.
Oh, that's worse.
That's like you hate someone.
But don't you? Okay, I was gonna ask this on a question someday, but I think it's not worthy of a full question.
Huh. Go.
But besides sex, like, what's something that's really pleasurable for you, like, for your body?
Chocolate.
Because
It releases endorphins.
okay, fair.
Ceramics.
Because
Because it's like art meditation.
you're very good at it, so it's something that you can.
I don't know if I'm very good at it.
I'm
what
very
I
good
say.
at eating chocolate.
My answer to this is always pooping. I love to poop.
You poop a lot, though.
I do,
Well, you said once you eat anything, it
Oh,
just
yeah.
comes out of your system.
but it just feels good. And almost every time after I finish pooping, I'm like, man, that was a great experience.
I have a question. You don't have to answer this now. We could save it for another day. But have you gone on a vacation with a guy before and like had to deal with the single?
Not one-on-one. I've never been on a vacation one-on-one with a guy.
Okay.
I mean, early on for show. It's
I mean,
terrible.
Well, you carry a matchbook with you, or like the little tiny poopery
poopery?
bottles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do those work?
Yeah, they
They
do.
do, but you have to like do it correctly. I've
How do
had
you-
somebody come to my house think that it was used afterwards,
Oh, I've had
and
that
that's
too.
not how it works.
I had a
Are
friend
you
who thought
looking
it
at
was.
me? No, I'm just kidding.
My
I don't
friend
do
thought
that
it-
outside of my own house.
My friend thought it was
I know
hand
you don't
sanitizer.
do that. It's not hand
Yeah.
sanitizer.
But yeah, if you let it like make a collective pool of the oil on top of the water,
Mhm.
it works perfectly.
Weird.
Yeah.
Is it
True.
like organic or is it super chemical?
Assuming most chemicals.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Because you're basically like layering like a cellophane layer to protect the smell from
It's
coming up.
oils.
It's oil,
It's basically a
literally
bunch
oils.
of like concentrated essential oils being sprayed into a toilet bowl.
Oh.
Yep.
That's all it is. It's
Okay.
creating this like heavier layer on top so that when you go to the bathroom, it's underneath and scents can't come up.
That's all it is. Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's
But also
so funny.
matches.
But I had a friend though, she like thought it was hand sanitizer multiple times. And she'd come out and she'd be like, this is not good hand sanitizer. I'm like, that's
Oh my
not
God.
hand sanitizer. This was like 2008 though when it first came out.
Oh,
She had no
no.
idea.
I had a friend come over and use it after the fact. And we're like, that's not what it's meant. Now the whole place smells like essential oils and shit. You did this incorrectly. Now I have to open every window.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, it was a fun day.
Yeah, we've all talked about this. We don't like sharing toilets with anyone.
I
Right.
don't like to share toilets.
But I love pooping though. It just feels so good. Don't you think?
Can you do it anywhere?
Pretty much.
It's
I don't
not the
think-
big saw if they're gonna stick their hand through and change out.
I'm also, this is going to be way too much TMI for you.
not a thing.
Never.
But I'm also a very loud pooper.
Like, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Like, I don't know, for some reason it just likes to plop. And also,
That
I
just means you
tend
have a
to be-
healthy diet.
but I also
Doesn't it?
tend to push out my poop with a lot of gas.
What happens?
You're
So it's
very
just-
gassy.
It's very loud.
That's why I don't like sharing beds. We've talked about this.
True.
I thought it's just you're loud. Like, oh, there's a poop. There's another poop.
You just keep announcing it.
Yeah, it's like the sports announcer of poops. Like,
Is she
there
done?
goes another one, rounding second base.
Oh, it's starting to stick his head. I believe it's going to be time for it to come out of its hole.
like the
Oh,
auctioneer
my.
of pooping. Like,
That'd be great.
one more, two, three, and we're done.
Have you guys seen the videos of the auctioneers rapping? Or like they put it to like their auctioneering to rap music? It's
What?
so good. I'll show you after this. I highly recommend checking it out.
Yes, please.
It's so good.
Now
I
I just
want
think
that.
about auctioneer pooping.
Did you
Poop
guys
auctioneers?
You guys ever been to auctions?
No, I'd love to go.
Have you been to
I'd go.
auctions?
No, I think I've been a long time ago, but nothing substantial.
I
And
grew
I'd
up
go
going
again.
to like 2 or 3 a week. So my
Mm.
dad loved them, and he was good friends with an auctioneer, and so they had auctions all the time. I am very accustomed to auctioneering, and when I was a kid, though, I thought it was really cool to like bid for my dad, and I got in
Uh-oh.
trouble a lot for trying that.
You well outbid other people.
Well, I just shouldn't be putting my hand up at certain times, yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
because I thought it was my dad. Because they kind of just do, like a quick glance around the room, and they see motion by you, you know it's a bid, but it's not really.
How
Don't be
does
that kid.
one get trained to be an auctioneer?
Practice.
Is there a schooling for this?
Watch more Letterkenny.
To be fair.
Is that
what that's from?
Yeah.
Well, no. So there is a character on Letterkenny who's an auctioneer.
Oh.
He's pretty great.
They're pretty talented though. If you can get really good at this, I'll show you guys the rap video. You guys will love it.
How
Yes.
much are auctioneers paid? Like,
So-
can you imagine your time to your like hourly rate as an auctioneer?
You don't really get an hourly rate as an auctioneer. You instead, when
Commission?
someone it's commission based. So
Oh.
like if someone brings in a dresser that they want to get rid of, and the dresser goes for like $500, I'm not quite sure the amount percent that come back, but part of that $500 then goes to the auction house, and then the rest of it goes back to the person who commissioned it. or put it up in, to be auctioned. And then the money that goes to the auction house, and he pays his employees, he or she, and then they take the rest of the money for themselves.
Interesting. I just wonder what makes an amazing auctioneer. Like, obviously having to read the room, having to like keep the room up, right? Like you have to like
Energy high.
entertain.
You're entertaining, yeah. But
So,
you're also trying to figure out the layout of like what you're gonna sell next, because you have to like have a big item in every once in a while. Otherwise, like you'll be handing off boxes of like salt and pepper shakers from the 70s, you know, and that
or
happens
like
way too
Victorian
often.
plates.
These are definitely haunted.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know that like someone's head is on the plate while they're being sold in. That's like the ghost. Terrible.
Gross. Correct.
None of that.
No, but
Oh,
I've
goodness.
been around a lot of auctioneers my whole life.
What?
Yeah, I guess when I was younger. So it's
Why is that a big Nebraska thing?
it is in like a rural town kind of thing. They do auctions all the time.
Is it for livestock?
I've been to livestock auctions. They're different though. They're a lot different because a livestock auction is a lot different versus like, what is the company out in New York that has like those auctions all the time? They're really
No
fancy
idea.
auctions, for like artwork and stuff like that. That's way
Asking the
different.
wrong people.
But then there's like the
No.
auctions for like rural towns, which is pretty much like a garage sale but auctioned off instead.
Interesting. I would
Yeah.
love to go to an auction.
We'll go when you
I'm
guys
also
come to Nebraska.
scared of garage sales just in general, though, so I don't know how I'd feel about
Why?
going to an auction. I blame, like, we talked about this a little bit earlier. I do love horror movies and things like that. My one of my favorite stories is my brother-in-law went to a carnival or like a fair, and my brother won my brother-in-law like this big bear, and he immediately threw it in the trash can and was like, "It's haunted," and
Oh,
just like
God.
left it after my brother like worked so hard to get it. And that I think that's like the best way I could describe both of them
Mm.
in just a simple phrase. And so now I
Aw.
just assume most things are haunted also.
But you're
Which
not
is like
scared
isn't
of
the
ghosts.
worst. I ain't scared no ghosts. No, I'm not scared of ghosts, but I also don't actively get antiques in my house.
I feel like antiquing is like a different lifestyle of person.
That's all the ghosts.
That's fair.
All of them.
That's fair. Scary. Anyways, well, we should probably move on to question 3.
Question the third. Would you rather have to run everywhere you go or yell everything you have to say?
I have an answer for this.
I do too. You go ahead.
I'd rather run everywhere I go, because it's gonna benefit me in the on, and like my body will benefit from it. And I used to be that kind of person that would like hustle and run, and I took my bike around campus all the time. I was always on the go. So that's my personality, I think.
But if
is
it's
too.
late at night, like
So-
let's say it's super late at night, and
I get to the toilet fast.
That would also be super creepy for anybody else in the house. So you're
But
just
I
like
get- I get
running
used
around
to it.
like up and down the hallways.
But
Like,
also, if you were just trying to like whisper to your partner in bed at night, you'd be like, "Honey, quit farting. Why are you snoring
I
so
have
loud?"
to pee. Because you just like run down the
pooping
hallway.
auctioneering starting now.
Pooping auctioneering? Oh yeah. I think I'd rather run. I think yelling, you'd have no secrets. You would never be able to like say anything during a meeting unless you wrote it down.
I would agree on the meeting aspect, where I think in a meeting it would be maybe potentially more excusable if you run out the door rather than say like, "I have somewhere more important to go," and then you just leave.
That's
you
not a
remember-
terrible thing to say.
You remember those old sketches on SNL? Was like Will Ferrell, and he was like, or I think it was Will Ferrell, and he could not talk underneath this level, but he always had to speak at this level at all times.
I feel like
this
that's
question,
his shtick.
but it
generally.
reminded me of
Yeah,
that sketch. though,
Cannot
because of
control
that
the
sketch.
volume of my
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I would like to run everywhere,
yeah.
mostly so that I could adventure. So you can go on adventures because, like, if you're just yelling for everything, things become too convenient, and you lose the sense of like adventure and like wandering.
I wonder about the downside of either of these functions, though. Say you hurt yourself and you can't run.
But that wasn't the question.
It wasn't the question, but like, does it, like, you can't run on something injured, but you can't like substitute it with, I mean, I guess you could yell things if you wanted to anyways, but I don't know. I just always wondered, like, what if something happened to impair the one that you've chosen?
I think you have to just make exceptions during that time.
Then you're shit out of luck. I think that's the answer.
You're just,
'Cause
you're
over the
right back
past-
to where you started.
For the past 2 weeks, my throat was really sore, and I can never imagine yelling during that time. I thought I probably would have screamed or cried, or just never talked.
Or just mime it out.
Yep. Can you mime poop auctioning for us, please?
Ooh, please.
It's
just
so
kidding.
much pressure. I'd rather do slam poetry.
I know you're very good at it.
Fine.
Though. What about you, Steph? What would you prefer?
I think I would also prefer running.
Yeah.
Only because I like to Irish exit out of everywhere.
Same.
And this really, like, amplifies that ability to literally run out of a party instead of saying bye to everybody. Instead of one giant like bye, just like leave.
What if both of these actions though had like those cartoon squiggly lines? So, like, you know, when you yell, there's always like those like amplified lines coming out of your mouth in cartoons. But when you run, there's like that cloud of dust behind you.
Perfect.
I would love the cloud of dust to
Even
pick
better.
up whenever I take off.
I would like people to know. I think people have already caught on to my like exiting ways. I get places early. I leave early.
Yeah,
And
you're
like
a
if there's a
wizard.
cloud of dust, they'd be like, "Yeah, that was Stephanie."
You're a
That's
wizard,
okay.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
You're a wizard, Ari.
You're a wizard.
Exactly.
You truly are. I mean, we had a little bit of a picnic on Friday, and you're like, I'm leaving. And I was like, okay. And then I looked, and there was no Stephanie.
I was already gone.
She was already gone.
With a bum foot. Ankle.
Yeah.
I know. Somehow I made it up that hill.
I
don't
know. We
know.
were even looking for you. We were like, where is she on
What
the
you
hill?
missed is that I went to a bus stop, but it was an incorrect bus stop.
Oh, what,
Did you have
what
to-
park did you guys go to?
Dolo.
I love Dolores Park.
Yeah.
If you guys are ever in San Francisco, I think we may have talked about this before on the podcast.
There's a lot of hipsters with ironic mustaches. A lot of
Ukulele
PBR.
playing,
Oh, yeah,
dog
can
whispers.
you tell us about this real quick?
There was this guy at the park, and he kept on following this. Later on, we found out that he owned one of the dogs. However, before we knew that, we just saw this guy with a ukulele with sort of stained joggers on and like very messy hair, hoodie, sweatshirt on, and he's playing on his ukulele to the dogs. And then these two dogs start humping, and he's still playing. And I told Steph, I was like, he's clearly a dog whisperer with his ukulele in like a messed up way.
But what were those? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Back in the day, folklore days of like who was the character that's always playing the music, following along?
Dionysus?
No.
No, think of like the show Silicon Valley. What's the name of their company?
Oh,
Pied Piper.
Pied Pipers.
yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I had to go through that route to get there.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yeah, I just assumed it was something along those lines.
In a
So-
creepy way, though.
in a
Why
very
are you
creepy
playing with
way.
a ukulele while these dogs are humping each other,
Listen,
and you're intently watching?
I play instruments for my dog.
But Lucy is not fornicating with another dog, and you're not watching with glee.
Oh, have you not been in the bathroom recently? She's in there right now.
I mean, I've been needing to go for a little while, but
no,
I'll check
she's-
back in for
She
y'all.
got fixed before she even had her first swing of the moon.
Oh wow. Well, anyways, Dolores Park is just a real weird spot. There's a lot of people
love it,
watching.
though.
There's the truffle guy who likes to sell chocolate truffles with marijuana.
Marijuana.
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane. Or the devil's weed.
Devil's lettuce.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah.
Devil's lettuce. I learned that term from Patricia.
Well, listen though, my lead at work makes fun of me all the time. He's like, you know, you only say devil's lettuce if you're from a state that wasn't surrounded by any type of water. Because I was from Nebraska, he makes fun of that, and I go, no, I learned it somewhere else. I know. So the other day, I was looking at these like antique posters from the Ad Council, from the antique meaning like early '80s and '70s, whatever. And one of them talked about like, if you use marijuana, you're part of Satan's cult. Don't use a devil's lettuce. So I was like, yes, and here it is. Here it exists from so long ago. So I sent that to him on Slack at like 10 p.m. And he sent me like the laughing emoji back. So I thought it was
Devil's
pretty
lettuce.
cool.
I do love that.
Sure.
You'll also see at Dolores Park the sunblock guy. Have you seen him before?
I've seen him.
He wears a red Speedo only with the tool belt with sunscreen, and he
Hot.
will spray you for free while he sort of gyrates his parts at you. I don't think it's a win-win.
But it's definitely, there are tons of characters there.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And great ice cream. And that's where, is it Venus Williams that lives here in the city?
What? She lives in the...
But I think it's Venus is Serena. I can't remember. What's the one that married the owner of Reddit?
Serena.
Serena. So they live in the city, and she plays sometimes at Dolores Park.
Oh, does she?
It's like for practice or just for fun, yeah.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Not
Because
surprised.
there's an article about a guy who was there playing with a friend, and she came by and he's like, "Can I play with you guys?" And they're like, I
She
guess
has
so.
so much power.
Yeah. So
Jeez.
he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." So they played back and forth a bit, which would be crazy.
That would be amazing.
I would
but
love
pretty cool.
that.
I feel like you'd be decimated by one of her balls.
Yeah.
Just
Literally.
one.
Just one.
One of your balls. So my cousin used to play tennis. He was now a tennis coach, a collegiate tennis coach. And when he was a kid, his mom took him to the store one time to get new tennis shorts. And his mom was like, "Hey, you know, I found some shorts over here." And he goes, "Mom, my balls won't fit in those shorts." But he really meant to say like tennis balls, but
Oh, I'm sure.
yelled
I'm
that
sure
across
he
the store.
did.
Pretty
So
cool.
perfect.
Yeah. My balls won't fit, Mom.
I didn't know Serena Williams lives in SF.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, yeah, some of the time. I'm
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what other celebrities live in San Francisco?
Zuckerberg.
There's quite
Is he a
few.
celebrity? I don't think
I mean, he's
so.
recognized-
He's the
Recognizable.
ruler of our world.
Of the
there's-
new world.
Of the new world.
Who's the romance novelist?
Danielle Steele.
Danielle
I lived
Steele.
across the park from her.
Her house
also,
is a block.
Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Doesn't he still live here?
Oh, nice. And Train. The
Ugh.
music.
God, they crush everything I go to. Literally everything.
If you don't know, Danielle Steele's house is in Pacific Heights, and it's almost a whole city block.
That's
It is
crazy.
very
incredible.
large.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
There are quite a few celebrities that live here, I believe,
yeah.
though.
But I
Maybe
think most
Robin
of them have
Williams
actually
too.
like
Um, Brian Boitano lives across the street from
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Oh right, you mentioned
Yeah.
that. Yeah, but I think the majority of the big celebrities have actually moved out of San Francisco. They still remain in the Bay Area. They just
Yeah.
not in San Francisco proper.
Yeah, like all the athletes in San Francisco
Yes.
live in like Walnut Creek, and
Yeah, they all live in Blackhawk.
Yeah,
I thought that Will Ferrell, doesn't he have a house up north?
Sure.
Like in Marin area or something?
Really?
Yeah, something like that.
Tiburon or something.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways.
No, it's a great city to live in, but you can't really hide in the city because you have to walk pretty much everywhere, no matter
Sure.
how rich you are. So
Well, people were losing their shit because parts of the city has some of the neighborhoods have been shut down. The streets have been shut down because they're recording The Matrix
And Venom.
Venom too.
and Venom. I can't
Yeah.
wait. I love that movie. It's so good.
I've never seen the first one.
Oh, it's so good. I really, really liked it.
intense.
It was really funny, actually.
Really?
I think it's just like one of those silly like Marvel comics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always good.
I'm not a big fan of Marvel. Maybe I'll check it out because it's San Francisco.
Yeah.
yeah.
She
But I
did.
know they're filming both those movies here right now.
currently,
Oh, well,
yes.
people were losing their shit because they're like, "Oh my God, Keanu's here!" And then like Julia Roberts had a birthday and she came out to the outer sunset to like get tacos or something. They're like, "Oh my God, Julia Roberts!"
That
Yeah.
was you.
I do think she's beautiful.
I love her.
And she just has a natural beauty about her that I really, really like.
Mhm.
And she seems to. I like that she protects her children and like has privacy in her life. I really respect that.
But not her niece. Her niece Emma.
Emma
oh, yeah, we talked about her
Roberts.
that she's supposed to be not very nice or
Yeah.
nice to work with.
Yeah,
That's what I've
apparently
heard
she's,
too, yeah.
She's kind of hard to deal with.
She's been on American Horror Story though.
She sure
Speaking
has.
of, have you seen the last season, the camping season?
I couldn't get through the first like 3 episodes.
I couldn't
Why?
either, but I
horrible.
want to.
Horrible.
Why horrible? Because it's terrible acting. Horrible because it's too scary.
No. God, it's not anything too scary. No, it's because they tried to make it like Friday the 13th or like they may try to recreate like Camp Crystal Lake and it just like was not happening.
Anyway,
Have you watched Good Girls?
I've not seen Good Girls. That's where they print fake money.
Sort of. That's part of the premise ish. But that man, Manny Montoya, he's like the gangster in it.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, I'm like, oh my God, he is so fine.
You a waterfall?
I do. And even when I'm watching with my man, I'm like, oh my God, he's so fine. And Alex is like, what? I'm like, oh my God, he
Aw.
looks so good.
I have to look this up right now. I don't know
I
who you're
think he's
talking about.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll check
he's
them
good.
out.
I don't know if it's like that bad boy tattoo type situation or like what's going on.
But you
but
like it. You
I
like what you
do.
see.
I like, Manny Montana.
Can I see?
I think he's fine.
Oh,
yeah.
And especially, I think the character that he plays in the show is like, the
Yeah,
character that he
that's
plays
nice.
in the show.
He's
I'm
nice
like,
eyebrows too.
yes. I'm like,
Yes.
yes, you are
Yes.
a strong man. You know what you want.
And it's me.
And it is. And Alex is just like, he holds my chin. He's like, up, put the jaw back up, Ashley. You're drilling. And I was like, I know.
Does Felix do that towards any women that he sees?
No.
Oh.
I'm like, you liar. Just
Such
kidding.
a liar.
No, but I definitely am much more vocal about actors. I don't actually like actors too much. Like, I
Yeah.
don't crush on them too much.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we've never really gone through our like
Our list.
top 5 list.
But I think I want to have time to think about this. So we should do this
I
for
have it
next
written
episode.
down.
Oh, let's do it for next episode where we have like our top 10.
Ooh, I
Top
like
10?
that.
Yeah.
That's so
Oh, I have a
many.
bunch of alternates, so I guess those could be in this.
That's it.
top
So
10.
let's do that for next episode. We'll all think of our top 10 celebrities that we would like to get with.
Oh,
How about
yeah.
date versus get with?
No.
I mean, you can define that in your 10.
Okay.
In your list.
Just yeah, like my number 1 is this versus my number 2 is this.
I don't
'Cause
think
I
I
think-
have more than 5, if that.
You better watch
Figure
some more
it
shows
out.
between
He
now and
just
then.
made that list.
He's high on that list. There are a lot of people that I just like to go on dates on. Not that I'm like, na-na-na-na.
Save it for the next episode.
That face you
next
made was really
episode.
interesting.
That's my animal face.
Oh. I like it a lot.
Insert animal noises. There we go.
Thank
That
you.
wraps up episode 29.
Yeah, you guys, thank you for coming out and
Coming out.
Thanks for coming out to my place.
Coming out.
We just have people
I
sitting outside
want
my
the
window.
world to know.
Oh,
How do you not know this song? I want the world to know, gotta let it show. What word
I didn't know the words to that either, but no,
No, you absolutely did not.
it's okay, Ashley. Thank you guys for coming out to our show. Just kidding. I would love if people like stood outside the window and like listen to us. Never mind, I don't really want that either.
That would be horrible.
They just have their ear to the window. I couldn't
To the
hear
You're on
you.
the second floor. How did they do it?
Technically, it's the third floor.
Oh God, that's even worse.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening to episode 29 of What the Fact. If you guys have any questions that you'd like us to address, or if you want to call us out for being absolutely incorrect on something, feel free to email us at hello@wtfaqpodcast.com, and we will talk about them in our next episode.
But be on the lookout because we're going to episode 30, and it's going to be our Dirty 30.
Oh, that'll be perfect for a top 10.
Mm-hmm. So get ready because
It may be a little NSFW.
come with us under the covers.
Oh my god.
I regret that. I'm sorry.
Immediate regret.
So, heads up for next episode, it will get a little NSFW. Maybe we'll have to title the episode just NSFW.
Mhm.
And,
Sure.
yeah, get ready
Depends on
for
your
it.
W.
Not safe for
Work, but
Wangs.
maybe your work will
World.
align. Not safe for the world.
Extra non-safe.
So get ready. If you guys have any questions that you want us to address in that episode, let us know too. You have probably like 5 days now to submit these questions because we're
Yep.
going to be recording a little bit later this week. So yeah, if you have any you would really like it to us to address and to embarrass me and make me blush, send them our way. hello@wtfaqpodcast.com. All right. Bye, everybody.
Peace out.